Women of Reddit, what's your cringy nice guy story? Ordinary guy here. Here's my reverse nice guy story. I get out of work. It's fucking cold outside. I stop and get a hot chocolate from a walk-up vendor. I am vaguely aware that someone is in line behind me. I'm feeling charitable. I pay for two. Tell the guy I'm paying for the person behind me. Please tell them to pay it forward. Take my chocolate. Pay. Walk away and don't look back. Never even glanced at the person behind me. Walk to the corner and I hear "excuse me." I ignore it because it's a city and I don't respond to yelling. This woman rushes up and tells me that she's flattered I'd buy her a hot chocolate but she really and truly could accept, and goes on about how she has a boyfriend. I say just pay it forward. I start to cross the street walking away from her. She follows telling me how serious she is with her boyfriend and they are practically engaged, and how it would be weird for him if she tells him she let some guy buy her a drink. This actually went on for around a half block. Then I told her that she didn't have to drink her hot chocolate. Then I quickly ducked down the stairs to a subway station I didn't intend to ride, just to extricate myself from the situation. Now I just ignore everyone in the city like everyone else. This is why we can't have nice things. Whoa. She would get on great with the crazy old lady I met one day who suddenly started screaming at me for stalking her. I was walking to the shop, the one focal point of large and crowded but otherwise bland and featureless suburb. Random old lady: "Hey, I know what you're up to. Stop stalking me." "Pardon?" I said. "Stop stalking me. I saw you following me." "I am not following you just because I am walking behind you. But then you crossed the road at the same time as me. I'm not stupid. Leave me alone or I'll scream. I crossed the road because I am going to the shop. Just like you." "Huh, you can't fool me. You've been following me for 2 blocks. I'm calling the police." "That only proves that we started from the same point, and you know what? Call the police if you want." I then got the hell out of there because it was a shitty suburb and I strongly believe the police would probably believe the frightened old lady over the slightly ethnic looking 30-year-old man.
Sigh. Fine. I'll murder you.
I've chatted with guys, usually acquaintances at a party bar get together, who get angry and offended if they find out I'm not single or not looking to go home with them. Even if it's basic small talk or we're chatting as a part of group and there's zero flirting involved, you're treated like you're intentionally leading them on or wasting their time when all you did was talk about work or the weather. "Hey, you asked if I was interested and I immediately set the story straight. I was at a Halloween party in college with my boyfriend and friends. They were getting drinks, so I was standing by myself for a few minutes and a guy came over and started talking to me. I chatted with him and put in that I was with my boyfriend. He said, "You have a boyfriend? Why did you even go out then?" and left. Like he expects every girl out partying to be single and available for him.
Get back in your box, you whore. Chugs Jello shooter.
Met a guy at college who seemed like a wayward out of towner that wasn't having any luck in the friend apartment. Word was he moved up from Cali, so we started working as semi-study buddies. He was taking courses for a different major, but they were courses I had done already. He knew I had a boyfriend but decided one day to ask me to dinner. I specified as friends and his response was something like "sure," or it could be a date. The fact that I was in a long-term relationship didn't seem to make a difference to him, so I declined. After that my courses got switched to online courses, so I stopped seeing him as much. Until he added me on Facebook and started trying to ask me out again. I finally told him no, that if he couldn't respect my current relationship enough to lay off the date attempts, that we didn't need to be friends. Then he went uber religious on me, started preaching at me constantly that he was terrified about my destiny of going to hell and wanted to save my soul so that didn't happen. Basically just admonishing every single decision I ever made as a person and determined like no other to convince me that my sinful ways would undermine me in every way. Kept saying he didn't want to see his friend go through that. I told him forcing his religion down my throat was the surefire way of pushing me away permanently, and proceeded to block him. I gave him a lot of chances to understand that what he was doing wasn't cool, but he was so convinced that he was just being a nice guy. I was sitting at the bar by myself and this guy in a fedora comes up to me and we just start talking. He seems okay. We got into some casual conversation. Then he starts talking about how he thinks girls should be nice to him if he does something nice for them, that has opened the door for them or buy them a drink. I tried for a solid half hour to get him to understand that a girl was not going to fall head over heels for someone who thought that opening the door for them meant that they were a knight in shining armor. I tried very hard but he just would keep talking over me. The fedora was an immediate red flag. Last I checked I wasn't a girl but I still feel the need to tell this story. I was friends with this guy who I'll call TJ in high school who was infatuated, and I mean infatuated, with one of my other friends who was a lesbian. The girl who I guess I'll call April had a very difficult coming out. Parents didn't take it well. They were super conservative and wanted grandchildren and she was an only child WE. She just didn't like boys. Well, this all started in our transition summer between junior and senior year. We basically had a big party and it was the first time TJ and April had met because it was a sort of mix of my social groups and such. So, on and on into the party and TJ walks up to me mid-conversation. TJ.
Hey, who's a girl? Me.
What? Oh, you mean April TJ?
Yay. Dude, she's hot.
Me. Well, she likes girls. I'll note that for any normal guy that would be the end of the conversation. And oh shit really then they'd move on with their life. But nah. TJ.
No she doesn't.
Me. TJ she's a lesbian. She likes girls. TJ.
Bruh, you don't know that shit's a phase? No way a girl that hot is a true lesbian.
He proceeded to ask me for her number, which I told him no, and if he really wanted to get shut down just go and ask her himself. He just ended the conversation after that and sauntered off and I didn't think much of it because the party went smoothly and he didn't make a move. So, flash forward. First week of senior year and my then girlfriend texts me to come over to April's house and said we need to talk. April is weirded out asking to talk to me. So I show up to her house and she's in tears and hysterical having a sort of breakdown. So, somehow after the party we had, TJ had gotten hold of April's phone number, pretty sure it was someone at the party, and started texting her really flirtatious messages. April, being a lesbian and all, told him she's into girls and isn't interested. He continued for a couple days, repeatedly asking her out and about her day. She stood still and said that she was for sure into girls, no takebacks. Dude sent a fucking dick pic with the caption,
"Will this change your mind?"
April told him that he's crossed a line and asked him how he got her number. So, instead of saying how he actually got her number, he told her I gave it to him. He then got all weird and clingy, sending her copious amounts of messages, asking her out, saying how he dreamed of her and shit. Weird stuff. So, after about a week of him blowing up her phone and her repeatedly telling him she's into girls, she blocks his number. He got pissed and soon started stalking her Twitter, Instagram and found out about her coming out and how hard it was for her. He then DM'd her on Insta and Twitter about how she's a fake lesbian and an attention whore and a slut and whore whose parents hate her and want her to burn in hell. She thought she was done with TJ after she blocked him on both of those platforms. Nah, the dude continued to harass her at school, calling her a lesbian slut in the halls. He even got put in the same group for a history class, and despite asking to be moved out of the group, the teacher denied it because April was too overwhelmed to give a reason. While all this was going on, he continued to text her from different numbers asking her out and saying she's making a mistake and just going through a phase by being gay. So, she's, I guess, understandably upset with me for giving TJ her number. I told her that I didn't and she needs to talk to the school and maybe the police. She was again, understandably, hesitant to talk to her parents about getting a restraining order or talking to her principal about it. So I agreed to do it. Went to the principal the next day with screenshots of the convos he was having, clearly showing that he was harassing April and borderline stalking her. Principal brought in April the next day to verify it all, and she went to the police after that, and she got a restraining order against TJ who got mad at me for ratting him out. I told him to stuff it and to feel lucky that he isn't in jail. Also, throughout the entire ordeal, he kept referring to himself as a nice guy who treated women right. TLDR. Friend becomes infatuated with another friend who is a lesbian and won't let it go. Dick pic sent. Harassment ensues. Restraining order and indefinite suspension follow. TJ stands for total jerk. I'm a guy, but I have a gay friend who would always try to give me massages to relax me then slowly work his way to other areas. He tries to contact me all the time to hang out and give me a place to chill. Yeah, no, your friend is trying to sexually assault you. Thank you for watching. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon through the link in the description. If the video slapped, be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe for videos every single day. See you tomorrow.